Alright, Saturday morning. I'm not going to work today. Just kind of lucky, I guess. I welded that in last night and put some paint on it. I think I'll put a little more paint on it. I need to test fit that rocker panel, which involves hanging a door. Speaking of door, let's open this one. Oh, it's a beautiful day. One charge I need to do today is get the rest of the salvageable stuff off this truck. I got a notion I'm going to take the cab off and make a trailer out of it. Wouldn't be hard to do. Trailer would be handy, and I'd have a square body trailer to pull behind my square body truck. I don't know, let's see. Hate to just scrap it. Look at that frame, it's still got paint on it. It's got a title. We'll see what happens. Well, an uncharacteristic stroke of good luck for me, this stuff showed up today. From CPP, all the way out in California somewhere. So I'll be able to mount up my steering. That is good news. Alright, let me see what I'm up against here. I never had something show up on a Saturday. That's good, that's good. I was going to continue stripping the good stuff off this thing, but I'll wait for a weeknight. Shoot, the neighbors ain't complained yet. And why would they? Alright, I got my bracket figured out, I think. It didn't come with any instructions, but here's what I figured out. These two holes line up on the frame. Use a 1/2-inch bolt here. That does not contact the steering box. The steering box bolts in that hole, that hole, that hole, and that hole, which lines up with there, 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 and there. And we've got to drill the threads out of this part of the steering box so you can stick a bolt through that side into this threaded portion on the bracket. And there's a plate on the back side that just stiffens everything up. That's what I figured out. And I had to cut off the end off the steering shaft, and I'm going to have to figure out how to modify that. But first, let me get my box mounted up. Oh, and you got to drill a hole there and there. 2 holes. So, I'm thinking this is a decent kit. It also came with that, but I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. But anyway, we'll show more of that when I get that far. Alright, what I did is I just stuck these 2 bolts through in the holes that line up, snug the nuts up. And then I took my transfer punches, which I'm ashamed to say I bought at Harbor Freight, but they've held up pretty well. And just stuck in the sleeve here. And give it a whack with a hammer, and now I'll know where to drill my holes. So I'm going to get busy and do that. Alright, there it is, all bolted in place. So, in review, I had to drill 2 new holes and bolt this plate on there and drill out that hole right there on the steering box, and it pretty much bolted right in place. I guess that's a good kit, at least for that part. Let's see how we do on the rest of it. Alright, now I've got the idler arm on there. I had to drill some new holes, and Everything looks to be nice and parallel and the same height. And it works. So I think we're good there. Now I need to sort out the steering shaft. I'm going to put my thinking cap on for that. If you ever wondered what the inside of one of these universals looks like on a Chevy truck, that's what it looks like. Inside right there is a little snap ring that holds the rubber boot inside there. And it's got a little spring here. See there? And these little guys slide up inside that square groove you see right there. Anyway, I'll clean this up and show you my idea in a minute. Alright, here's my idea. You can see that that is what they call a double D shaft. Now, it's not what you're thinking of. But it's flat. I think that's 3/4 if I remember right. Round surface here, but flat. And that's so that in the event of a collision, it will slide inside this piece. But it goes back to round right here, which I believe is the same diameter as that shaft. So I'm going to see if I can drive this pin out and that little collar right there off. And then this will fit in here roughly like so. And use a coupler. Cut the shaft about there. Maybe a little further down. And use a coupler. Drill a few pins through it so it's secure and welded up. And then that will give me a collapsible steering shaft. And I won't have to buy nothing, I think. Alright, there's my collapsible steering shaft. All mocked up. I used a collar over both shafts, drilled holes through it. I just got bolts in it right now, but my intention is to weld it all the way around there and there, and then get some 3/8 rod or a cut off bolt or something, stick it through, and then weld it on both sides. And that should hold it fine, but I can't get my welder stretched out to here just yet, so this will do to steer it until I make that happen. I like it. Alright, I think I showed you all this already. I got this all hooked up and everything. I got the truck turned around. I ain't worked on it in the last 4 or 5 hours. A buddy brought his VW over and we fixed his steering and some other stuff. So that's what I've been doing. Listen closely, you might can hear it. Anyway, I got it over on this side, so my welder reaches good now and we'll be able to finish welding everything up. But just now, it's time for me to go take a break.